For younger students, it's really about language, it's about self-awareness, it's about identity, beginning to identify strengths and interests, and then that can build over time. Ideally for us, what we're hoping for again with these resources is to make it easier for teachers K through 12 to incorporate little bits and pieces of this kind of durable skills, career connected learning, career orientation into their work.
Hello and welcome to The Future is Clear, Teach Like It's 2045 webcast series. I'm Scott Carr from CESA 2, and today's webcast is a special webcast where we're going to highlight a great pilot opportunity for school districts in our state. Joining me today is Michael Crawford, who is the VP of Strategic Initiatives, Michael, at America Succeeds, that great organization behind the tidal wave and excitement of the durable skills that's sweeping through our state. Glad you could join us today. Michael, how are you doing?
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm doing well. We're here in Metro Detroit and it is a sunny day today, so we'll take it. But good to be with you.
Nice, nice. Yeah, we've had some nice weather throughout the summer. A little bit warmer than I like, but can't complain, right?
Yeah, no,
Before
it's
you
all
know
right.
it'll, hey, before you know it'll be, December, January, we'll be complaining about the cold. But I appreciate you taking the time. Why don't you, to start us off, why don't you tell us a little bit about your position at America Succeeds, how you got there? Yeah, let's hear it.
Sure. So I joined America Succeeds in January of 2024. My role at America Succeeds really is twofold. One is to lead our research endeavors. So we do a lot of work in schools in the K-12 and kind of post-secondary spaces, work with community colleges, work with high schools, work with elementaries as well. And so we just are wrapping up actually our research practice collaborative research project, which started in January of last year, focused on high schools and it really exploring the practices and systems that they implement in order to support the development of durable skills. So that's one example. One branch of my work is leading our research. And then the other branch is to pay attention to the world and scour the landscape out there to find partners and organizations and initiatives and platforms where durable skills could add unique value. And so this could be a AI company that's looking to build simulations for employers, and we figure out and work together to integrate durable skills into those simulations. It could be platforms that support K-12 learners that want to be more competency based and they want to be able to select from our durable skills framework, which skills they want to focus on, and it's integrated and incorporated into that platform. And a range of different other partners from TNTP and Arizona State and Edmentum and Schooljoy and others that do a lot of really rad work. And so I wear those two hats mostly, the sort of research hat and then the kind of strategic partnership, strategic opportunity hat. Before joining America Succeeds, I've worked in a range of different roles and education capacities throughout the country. I worked at the Kauffman Foundation in Kansas City on their post-secondary team. I worked in a nonprofit called Real World Scholars in San Diego that helps classrooms start and run businesses. I worked at Western Governors University and Vela and a number of different places that have really helped shape my perspective on learning and the workforce and entrepreneurship and the role technology plays. And it's all helped to lead me to where I am today at America Succeeds.
Nice, nice. Well, I was certainly pleased and happy that we were able to connect. I know there's some really great things happening at America Succeeds. You guys have done some great work. I've heard Tim talk about this in the past that you guys are the dog that caught the truck. Not
He
only
loves that.
the dog
He loves
that
that
caught,
analogy.
right, right. The dog that it's not dog that caught the car, it's the truck.
That's
And so it's, I've heard him say it a few times. Talk a little bit about, if you don't mind, just to lay a little groundwork around this. Last time you and I talked, I didn't recognize this, but America Succeeds, the durable skill was kind of built around post-secondary, I think is kind of how you talked about it a little bit. And then now you're looking at, we've heard from a lot of our K-12 institutions, schools in our country that are saying, hey, we want more of this. So that's kind of what the initiative is here behind it. But talk a little bit about
Yeah.
that start, where it initiated from, and a little bit of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, America Succeeds, national nonprofit, been around for a little over 10 years. Initially started as a policy advocacy organization, really priding ourselves on being the business voice in education. So, really trying to understand what industry is looking for, what employers are needing, and then working backwards to build better bridges between the education system broadly and employment to help create more seamless and kind of nourishing on ramps for young folks and adult job seekers as they find their way into the workforce. About 5 years or so ago, we kept hearing over and over again from employers that they could find folks with technical skills, but they had a much harder time finding candidates who could speak effectively to clients, who could solve complex problems, who could work with different folks from various backgrounds. And so we dove into that, really tried to understand, well, what is the breakdown? What are these skills or competencies that employers are looking for and they're not getting from college graduates, or they're not getting from folks that are showing up at their door. And so we dove into the research literature, and we ended up crosswalking every skills taxonomy you could imagine, from human skills to soft skills to 21st century skills to essential skills, all the different terms that are out there, to really try to understand, well, what are these skills that employers are looking for? And through that process, we identified 10 what we call durable skills competencies. These are skills, competencies that you've heard of: communication, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, leadership. These were the skills that we identified by crosswalking these skills taxonomies. And then we ended up partnering with MZ Burning Glass, now Lightcast, a large kind of employment database company. And they helped us cull down a list of 400 search terms that their top 400 search terms. We culled that list down to about 100 and attached 10 search terms, what we call subskills, to the 10 durable skills competencies. And then we ran that through 80 million job descriptions to
Wow.
really understand, as best we could, whether or not these are the skills that employers are looking for. And it turns out that they were. Seven of the top 10 most requested skills were durable skills, and the top five durable skills were requested almost 5 times as often as the top
Wow.
five technical skills. And so
Wow.
from there, we put that those 10 durable skills competencies and the 100 sub skills into a wheel, and we released that
Oh,
out into the world. And that was picked up by folks in the employers and industry, folks in colleges and universities, and a bit as well in the K-12 space, which is great. They acknowledged and appreciated the change in term from soft skills and human skills to
yeah.
durable skills. And they're called durable skills for a couple of reasons. One, because they endure throughout a career, right? Your ability to communicate is going to be relevant in your first job and your second job and your third job, and as you get promoted and work your way through and up and over, those skills are going to last.
Wow.
And they're also durable in the sense that they are relevant and important across industries. So it doesn't matter whether you are, a farm worker in Alabama or you are in the tech sector in Silicon Valley. The ability to
Wow.
collaborate and be creative matter regardless of industry and region. And they're also durable, especially in today's world with the way that AI is finding its way into everything.
Yeah.
Durable skills are the least likely in the short term to be automated away or for AI to kind of intervene. It's still, work regardless of where you're at is still going to require human to human collaboration, communication. It's going to require creative problem solving. And yes, AI and other technologies are going to help and sort of augment how it looks in the application of those skills, but the foundation of those skills is still going to be relevant.
Yeah.
And so that's really where the durable skills work kind of took off, and from there it's gone in a lot of different directions, including leading to the K-12 opportunity that I'd love to share today.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I tell you, I'm hooked on it. I I use the durable skill wheel on numerous different activities from working with teachers, leaders, administrators, right into the classroom. And I tell you, the experiences that I've had, as I work with teachers in the classroom, students understand it. They can relate, look at these terms. A lot of the times teachers kind of tend to feel like they have to teach the terms, but you almost don't have to. They
Mhm.
recognize what they are. Now, being skilled at it is another thing.
Mhm.
But
For
yeah,
sure.
great, great, great work. Well, let's do that. Let's dive into the opportunity with America Succeeds, a durable skills framework pilot. Uh, us at CESA 2 are extremely excited to be able to partner with you guys in our state of Wisconsin. We're really excited to be able to help, lead it forward, be a guide and a supporter, and work with you guys to help with that look as we go through it. But tell us,
Mhm.
describe it. What is this? When is it? And what are the goals? What are you looking to achieve?
Yeah, appreciate that. So let me do a little bit more context setting before I jump in. So
Sure.
we put that wheel together, working with Lightcast, and shared it out into the world, and then realized quickly that the wheel is valuable. It's important for people to understand what these skills are, how
Mhm.
they relate, etc. And we need something a little bit more practical, a little bit more functional, something that employers and folks in the education space can have that can be useful for them. And so we did a bunch of different focus groups and surveys and talked to partners across the country and ended up working towards and building a framework, essentially a rubric for durable skills.
Mhm.
We partnered with CompTIA, a large IT certification company, to help build this out, partnered with subject matter experts from across the country, folks that are workforce development experts or skills professionals or educators or employers, a range of different people that contributed. And then we got input from more than 800 employers, from folks as large as Intel and McDonald's to school superintendents to community college deans, a wide range of folks that contributed and shaped what we call our durable skills advantage framework. And so this is a rubric with the sub skills across 4 performance levels, from emerging, which is just beginning to use that skill, to exceeding, which is able to use that skill unconsciously at a high level across
Wow.
multiple contexts.
Yeah.
And so that framework was released in January of 2024, released in 2 forms. One, a free version, which you can go download at durableskillsadvantage.org. It has all of the sub skills at the applying level, so the third of 4 levels, free to use and kind of incorporate into your work, whether you're in education or in industry. Then we have a full version that we license to partners that want to integrate and incorporate it into whatever it is that they're building, any products, services, platforms, etc. The free version, the starter edition that was released in January of last year, has been downloaded almost 2,000 times.
Wow.
And about half
Wow.
of those downloads, yeah, about half of those downloads are from folks in K-12. And what we heard from them is that they appreciate the wheel, they appreciate the framework, even though it's sort of limited in the everything that it provides. And they love that. It's helpful to see that. However, for many of them who are working in elementary schools or in middle schools, the existing framework was designed for 22 to 24-year-olds. These are early
Yeah.
career professionals, folks 4 years out of high school. Maybe they went to work straight away. Maybe they joined the military. Maybe they went to college or university. But that's who what that initial framework is built on. So when second grade teachers or sixth grade teachers are trying to figure out how to take those skills and bring them into their classrooms, it requires some transformation, some translation. It's a lot of effort and energy to figure out what's developmentally appropriate. Are these the right skills for third and fourth graders to even be working with? And so we heard that a lot. And as a result, uh, 3 months ago, we embarked on a project to make that a bit easier for educators
Mm.
and better support them as they work to incorporate durable skills into their world. So we call it the K-12 Durable Skills Framework Project. And at a high level, what we're aiming to do is to do that translation and transformation of our current framework into a developmentally appropriate K-12 scaffolding that any educator nationwide would be able to say, oh, for my kindergartners, for my seventh graders, for my 11th graders. These are the skills that are relevant, and the language that is being utilized is developmentally appropriate for the
Yeah.
grade and the young people that I'm working with. So this project is unfolding in 4 phases. First phase is where we are right now. I'm working with 2 subject matter expert consultants to translate our current framework into essentially 4 frameworks across
Mm.
4 grade bands. So K2, 3.5, 6.8, and 9.12. So we'll have a developmentally appropriate framework for each of those grade bands. That's phase 1. Phase 2 is convening subject matter experts across 3 convenings to weigh in on the developmental appropriateness of the framework and to begin co-creating and thinking about the practical application and implementation of resources at that grade level for durable skills. So we have 3 convenings. We're bringing in child development experts, adolescent
Mm.
development experts, folks that are ed tech innovators, teachers, superintendents, school leaders, other folks that have built curricula to really weigh in on, again, the language and the resources that are going to be appropriate across those grade bands. That's phase 2. Phase 3 is an opportunity for educators nationwide to pilot early durable
Mm.
skills resources in their classrooms. And this is, again, what I'm really excited to chat with you about. That's
Yeah.
phase 3. That happens between October 27 and December 19. Long, large window in there, and I'll say more about that in a moment. And then phase 4 is we'll take all of the feedback from the subject matter experts, from the educators, from other leaders that have weighed in on the framework and the resources. We'll take all of that, refine it, revamp it, and release it out into the public in spring of next year for
Wow.
educators, school leaders, implementation support personnel, instructional coaches, et cetera, to be able to utilize and decide what they want to bring into their classroom.
Yeah.
So the opportunity for educators, which is for us our phase 3, is an opportunity to sign up. So if you go to americasucceeds.org/K12, you can sign up for the pilot. And what it entails is in mid-October, a little bit before the pilot window opens, we will send a digital bundle of resources to every educator who signs up based on the grade that they teach. They'll get a range of resources. So think about
Wow.
project ideas, reflection guides, question prompts, I can statements. We have a couple AI tools that help educators incorporate durable skills into their existing lesson plans. And so what we want to be able to do is provide these resources with the expectation that educators are in unique contexts. A second grade teacher in Wisconsin may look different than a second grade teacher teaching in rural Nebraska, which could look different than a second grade teacher teaching in an urban environment in Washington, D.C., for
Yeah.
example. And so our hope is that this bundle of resources, educators will then pick and choose, are they going to use all 10 of the resources that are provided? Are they going to use 2 or 3? Use them, incorporate them, and then share your feedback. So was this useful? Was it helpful? Did the students
Mm.
understand? Was it too cumbersome? Did it fit seamlessly? What are the pros and the cons? And share all of that feedback with us so that when we turn around in the spring and share these resources out, we know and other educators can know that they were driven by experiences in the classroom. They were pilot tested and pressure tested by actual educators in front of young people, working side by side with them. We know that they fit into their technology, different topics, different subjects that educators are championing in their classrooms, and that these work and that these fit. And so our hope is that every educator, as many educators as possible nationwide and in Wisconsin certainly, would sign up, would wrestle with some of these resources, use them in their classrooms, pilot test these tools, share feedback. And the last thing I'll say, and then I'll stop, is by participating in this pilot, educators are going to get a few things for their participation.
Nice.
One is certainly getting early access to resources to support durable skills development. We know in states
Right.
all across the country, portraits of a learner, portraits of a graduate are coming into play more so, again, at the state level and at the district level. We know that more and more educators are getting pressure to engage students in kind of non-academic ways, whether it's at the older ages and internships, whether it's at younger ages and throughout doing different kinds of projects. But these kind of non-academic durable
Yeah.
skills are becoming more and more relevant. And so educators in this pilot will get early access to resources to do that. They'll also be entered to win $100 gift cards for participation, which is great. Also, we have a community of practice that's going to be launching in the spring as well. And educators that are part of the pilot will get early access to that community to be able to meet and connect with other educators that are prioritizing durable skills in different ways. And then lastly, we have a handful of other tools and kind of partnerships that we're working on, and we will be releasing some of these early resources and early tools over time. And by participating in the pilot, you'll have early access to those kinds of tools and opportunities as well. And so again, the hope is the call to action here is jump into this pilot, get access to early resources, get connected to other educators who are wanting to push forward in this kind of way, and we certainly will appreciate greatly, and so will
Yeah.
all the other folks that benefit from using those resources down the line.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. All I can say, Michael, is what a great opportunity, to be quite honest. It's not very often do you find things like this for free, if you would. And the way you guys are diving into this, the different phases that you have, and how the attention to detail just says a lot about your commitment to this work. So really, I applaud you guys.
Right. Thanks, Scott.
Um, yeah, so here's in our conversation, here's how we'd like to help. Because what you're talking about really represents kind of a low lift. I mean, it's
Mhm.
it's it's not anything outside of what we look at as difficult, even in classrooms. I think educators could, take those resources and run with them pretty easily. But where we want to help to have even a higher level of impact is what we're going to do, and just to let our audience know, those listeners know, what we're going to do at CESA 2 is we're going to offer an opportunity to mentor, guide, coach all of those teachers that are interested to sign up that will be in our state. We're going to have a Google form that we're going to share out. If those that are interested want to be a part of our pilot, this pilot, the cohort pilot that we'll have, we're going to offer some support also. So what we'll end up doing is, like we had talked about, Michael, is offering maybe 3 contact times where we could have networking opportunities for those that are in our state that are doing the pilot come together, real short, maybe an hour long, at the end of a school day, where we can share ideas. How is it working? Michael, you or Tim or whoever from America Succeeds, we talked about maybe diving in and being a part of those conversations. But we want to help guide, help inspire, if you would, to continue it, and help problem solve if teachers are struggling. This really aligns with a lot of the work that I've been doing with school districts in our state, in regards to bringing career connected learning, career awareness, career exploration to the classroom itself, not only the school, but to the classroom. So I know we have a lot of teachers I've been working with, I think, are going to be interested in doing this. So
Mhm.
they certainly, how we network out at CESA 2 and get those individuals to sign up, we'll take care of that. There's numerous different ways we're going to communicate that through my newsletter. I think we're going to reach out to Karen Smith at DPI and see if she maybe would put it in her Friday finds. I mean, this is again kind of low risk. It's a low lift. It's something that I would hope teachers would really dive into. What amazes me too, Michael, and you maybe talk a little bit as to the why with this, because when I work with school districts, the highest level of struggle that I have is at the lower levels, all the way down to that kindergarten level. For you guys to dive into it at the at that K, you said K through
Mhm.
second grade,
Mhm.
different layers or different levels, I think is amazing. So we have experience at CISA 2 to be able to offer that support. So we're hoping that we can network that way. But say a little bit about why it's important for us all the way through, that this is not just a high school type of an initiative.
Yep. And yeah, you were starting to get at it with the younger grades. What we have seen and heard, both from the folks that we work with and from the broader research literature, is that starting in high school with any kind of career, you would call it career connected learning, call it aspirations, beginning to think about their future as professional people. Starting in high school is better than not starting at all, but starting in high school is also, it comes with challenges. In ways it's starting a little bit too late. Um, in high school, there are opportunities because learners are older to get out of the building, to do internships, to have kind of more, independence and autonomy and agency as it relates to their career futures. It looks a little bit different with younger ages. But what we have found and seen is that when you start with younger ages around the language and around identity and around self-awareness, then that compounds over time so that by the time young people get to high school, they've already been thinking about skills and competencies. They've already been thinking about what their strengths are. They've already been thinking about what interests them. Maybe they've had some exposure to careers in terms of what jobs are out there or what industries are out there. That's great if that's the case, but it's not fully necessary. Instead, with younger students, what we have seen is that their embrace of these kinds of skills and the language that's used throughout schools or throughout a school journey, a school experience from K to 12, that is what really makes the difference. And
Yeah.
for younger grades, well, for older grades, there are more kind of career-oriented opportunities. Again, there are
Yeah.
internships and there are different kinds of projects. There's different sort of like structures and modalities for high school students to be able to begin engaging in that kind of work or begin building on the work they've done before. But for younger students, it's really about language, it's about self-awareness, it's about identity, it's about beginning to identify strengths and interests, and then that can build over time. And educators in third grade, they may know that ultimately in 12th grade and beyond, young people are going to need to work, they're going to need to begin applying for jobs or starting companies or whatever it may be. That's not true in second grade. And so, how does a second grade teacher support the young person into the future? And the way to do it is through language. And so,
Yeah.
ideally for us, what we're hoping for again with these resources is to make it easier for teachers K through 12 to incorporate little bits and pieces of this kind of durable skills, career connected learning, career orientation into their work. And so we know, for example, elementary school all the way throughout, they do group work. That's great. And young students are developing some kind of collaboration skills by simply participating in a group,
Yeah.
right? At minimum. However, that doesn't mean it's high quality.
Right.
That doesn't mean that students even really know that they are collaborating or where and like what the roles are and what the dynamics are and what kind of approaches they can take to working better together. And so that's what we hope to provide:
Yeah.
reflection prompts, reflection guides, project ideas, questions that a teacher can ask a student to get them to think about the experience they just had. And then ideally, not only just that reflection, but be able to build on it for next time so that the next time they're in group work, for example, or the next time they try to solve a challenging problem, they can pull from an explicit mention conversation that they had in the past and utilize that moving forward.
Yeah.
So that's the ultimate hope is to begin, it's not to do career learning with second graders
Right.
necessarily, although that there are some groups that do that and
Sure.
good for them. Instead, it's to begin kind of planting the seeds of self-awareness, of skills, of strengths, of interests, and begin to help the young person start to make a different sense of their educational journey. And I think these kinds of resources can help do that.
Yeah, yeah, you're spot on, and it aligns. Like I said before, it really aligns with a lot of the work that I've been doing. Our biggest issue in our school systems, one of the biggest is a lack of student engagement. They're not seeing their purpose, which results in the lack of, relevance and understanding why they're doing what they're doing. So this really connects. I really appreciate it, Michael, you taking the time. Before we cut out of here, I know one of the things that we talked about doing with our group here in our state with CESA 2 support, some maybe doing some feedback interviews, or maybe even doing some videoing, webcasting with some of these individuals. We definitely want to network. So those are all great things for those of you that are listening that want to get involved, please reach out. You can reach out to CESA 2. You can reach out directly to me, and that's my email is scott.carr@cesa2.org. Easy to find on our website. You can again reach directly out to me. When I share this video out, we will have obviously some ways that people can connect with us. And how can people get in touch with you, Michael? I know that you guys are open to, chatting and having conversations. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. So you can reach out to me by email at mcrawford@americasucceeds.org. Would love to chat with any educators, school leaders, district leaders, other folks that are connected to this kind of work. If you have ideas, if you need additional information, if you'd like us to chat with your educators or your community even more broadly as it relates to durable skills and this opportunity and beyond, we would love to be able to do that. So. Yeah, please do reach out.
Yeah, appreciate it, Michael. Thanks for taking the time. This is a great opportunity. I hope a lot of people jump on board with it.
Thanks, Scott. Really appreciate the opportunity to share about the opportunity and look forward to collaborating soon.
Yeah, you betcha. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And remember, the future is clear. Take care.